Thank you. And this is a meeting of the Finance Committee via Zoom. We will start the meeting off by people acknowledging if they're present. Linda Bathels, yes. Art Pennell,
Yes.
Bob Horacek,
Yes.
Sheila Chamberlain. Okay, Terry Mish,
Yes, ma'am. Here,
Terry-
present.
Carrie Doherty,
Yes.
and Karen DeMayo.
Yes.
Okay. All right, we are starting this evening's meeting off with our minutes. And unless I'm missing a few, Robin sent minutes for April 6th and April 13th, but I could not find any minutes even in the past on 3/20 and 3/30. So those, unless somebody else has them and can share, we will wait and do those at our next meeting. So does anyone by chance have minutes from 3/20 or 3/30?
They're not available yet.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Laura.
You're welcome.
All right, then we will start off with the minutes of April 6th. And
A second. April 5th or April 6th?
April 6th. It was the budget review from the second section. Okay.
I didn't see anything.
All right, anybody else see any changes?
Nope.
Can I get a motion to accept the minutes as submitted?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. All right, Linda, I'm abstaining because I didn't attend the meeting. Art,
Yes.
Bob,
Yes.
Mish,
Yes.
Carrie,
Yes.
and Karen.
Yes.
So we have 501. Okay, next will be the minutes of April 13th.
Okay.
I had a question on that, Linda.
Okay, go ahead.
The first motion that was made to have Art Pennell, Linda Bathel, Doug Moglen to set to a salary reserve account. Wasn't that to determine the road bond amount?
That is my recollection, yes. It was the road bond amount. Because you and I wouldn't have anything to do with salary reserve.
All right, so we need to change that, I guess, that to reflect that. However you'd like to word that.
So instead of salary reserve, we would say the road, DPW road bond.
Yes, that sounds adequate, I guess.
Okay. Any other catches?
Yeah, at the, excuse me, you've got Carrie Doherty left the meeting for an obligation. And then further down, a roll call vote number 3, you got her voting yes. So if she did vote yes, we should move that Carrie Doherty left meeting down underneath that.
I would agree, because she left, I have to look up the time. I did write it down.
Yeah, I think it was around 7:15 or something.
Yeah,
But did you vote on the, on what?
Paving bond.
I
Paving
voted
bond?
on, let's see. Yes, the paving, we did talk about that, and then I had to.
Okay, so
Dinner.
So we should move that Carrie left the meeting underneath after that vote.
okay.
Good catch.
That's all. I didn't have anything else that I saw.
That same paragraph that we're looking at, it's a little unclear about what the motion was. Actually, the motion was to have the Board of Selectmen set the bond amount for paving with the FinCom chairperson or vice chairperson. Should we say that that's what the motion was and it was made by Linda Bathel and seconded by Sheila? Seems a little unclear the way it's written to me. Maybe it's just me.
No, I am amendable to that.
So
Should
what
be a
was,
motion was made by Linda, seconded by Sheila, to have the Board of Selectmen set the bond amount for paving with the FinCom chairperson and vice chairperson. That makes sense.
Sounds about right.
That's good.
and does the same go for that next motion? Linda Bathel needs approval that ATM budget message is okay, blah, blah, blah. A motion was made by Karen, seconded by Bob.
Yeah, that should be changed in form as well,
The
because
same
it's
way,
not clear
yeah.
the way it's written, what's going on.
Okay. Okay. So are we comfortable with that stuff now?
Yep.
Okay,
Make a motion to approve the minutes as amended.
Second,
yeah. Okay, any further discussion? Okay, Linda, yes. Art,
yes,
Bob,
Yes.
Terry? Sorry, Mish.
That's no problem. Yes,
Carrie?
Did I abstain since I only was here for one of the votes?
Yes, if you weren't, yeah.
Okay, I will abstain from voting on this.
Karen?
Yes.
All right, so we are 501. Okay, and my apologies, I skipped over public comments. Is there any public comments? Okay, hearing none, we will move on to the approval of the FY22 budget. Does anybody have any questions or comments regarding the budget? Since we reviewed it last night, I didn't think we needed to review it again unless there were questions.
Do we need to mention the 3 items that weren't agreed upon at the last meeting with the select board? And I'm talking about the $1 million road bond. There was a Channel 15 capital amount. And there was a DPW repair amount that was changed at the last minute. Are you familiar with those, Laura?
The DPW, vehicle repair was at 6,000 and they dropped it down to 2,000
All right, so,
because they,
okay, and how about the Channel
road-
15?
and then, sorry. And then the road paving, the principal amount, was added in at 100,000, and then the interest on the paving was 15,000. And I don't know, what was the third one? The
Channel
dump truck?
Channel 15.
Oh, Channel 15, that was 35,000.
All right, so Linda, I think we have to vote to accept those final changes to the budget.
Okay. All right,
You make the
So-
motion,
thank you.
Mr. Pennell?
What?
Are you making a motion?
Yes, I am. I just want to make sure. Do we need to vote on the entire budget as well, Linda?
We do.
Okay, so first the amendments, fine. I make a motion to approve the amendments as stated.
Second,
Go ahead, Carrie.
I beat you.
All right. Any further discussion? Okay. Linda, yes. Art,
Yes,
Bob,
Yes.
Mish,
Yes,
Carrie,
Yes.
Karen,
Yes.
600. And now we would go to the budget as a whole. Can I have a motion to approve the budget as submitted?
I'll make a motion to accept the FY22 budget as submitted.
Second.
All right, any further discussion? Okay, Linda, yes. Art,
Yes,
Bob,
Yes.
Mish,
yes,
Carrie,
Yes.
Karen?
Yes.
All right, we are 600. Okay. On for more of the fun stuff. We now have the warrants to go through.
Mhm.
And we'll start with the special town meeting. On those 1, 2, and 3, if everybody's comfortable with it, we'll use the same language as we did last year for those articles.
Sounds like a plan.
so it is written.
So it shall be.
Hallelujah.
Okay. And then number 4 on the special town meeting. I sent out a proposal or suggestion on that one. Not saying we have to use that. We can use, if somebody else can say they would like to look at that and write it up. Okay.
I can do that one. That's fine. That's just taking the money from last year and putting it into this year's because it didn't get spent.
Yes, for lake management, yes.
Yeah, I'll do that one.
Okay,
It's taking it from an operational line and moving it to a capital line item.
So it could be transferred.
So it can be transferred.
Operation line to a capital line.
Laura, is that because capital lines would just roll back into free cash? Or
The
roll-
capital lines, you can, if the project isn't done, it can be carried forward.
It can be, okay. But the operation line couldn't?
Right.
Okay. Got it backwards.
okay. What would be? Never mind, I answered my own question. All right, so
Great.
when we meet again to review these, then we'll take a vote to accept the pros and cons. Laura, when do you need the pros and cons by?
I'm thinking we'll need them next week.
Okay. If we met on the 4th, would that give you the time you need to do everything?
Yeah, I think,
Do you need it done on a different day?
no, I think if we have them, if you're submitting them in writing, it's just yeah.
Okay,
Sorry, I'm just looking at the calendar and yeah. If we could do it on the 5th, that just would give us an extra day to assemble it if you're going to be voting on the pros and cons.
so you want to be assembling it on the 5th, or you want us to vote on the 5th? Vote on the 5th.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we'll come back to that part too. All righty,
That's a Wednesday, is that correct?
it is.
So Laura, help me out with that, please, because I'm confused. So if
Sorry.
If we did it on the
Yeah.
4th, isn't that a day earlier for you?
It depends. Are we going over it or are you voting? I guess, or are you voting on what's going to be done?
We would review them and then take the vote at the same time.
At the same time? All right, do they have to be in their finalized stage? That's like my question.
Yes. I mean, if we determine that we need to meet on Tuesday, the 4th, to review everything, and then have the 5th as a backup to take the vote if we need to change any wording, we could go down that route. Otherwise,
We could try, yeah, we could try. Sorry.
that's okay.
Yeah.
So we'll,
This is Robin's expertise part of it. So-
right.
So that's why I'm like, I'm not
Let's,
usually the one typing, so that's why I'm like, I'm not sure how long.
okay.
Well, Linda, can we send, like I just did with that, whatever that one was on the ambulance? Can we
Yeah.
send those around and have, so people have at least like these minutes where they have a minute to look at it and see if there's a better word or a phrase or something like that? Can we do that by, on Tuesday during the day or something and then vote on it that night? Or
I
correct it
would-
and vote on it?
I would say that we could. That would be my suggestion, that whatever is being written be sent out prior to the meeting, even the day before the meeting or
Yeah.
sooner, so that everybody does have an opportunity to review it and come to the meeting ready to accept or amend whatever has come forward.
Yeah. It wouldn't even necessarily be amending, it's just correcting, right?
It's
Really, right?
yeah.
Because it hasn't been submitted
Yeah,
as, legal stuff,
right.
not like,
Okay.
Is there a way to make it a shared document so we can see them instead of piecing together the emails that have been going around?
Well,
Like a Teams drive? I know, Laura, you guys are doing a movement over to Microsoft, so.
what's a Microsoft?
Yeah.
I would say that we'll do our best with it. In the past, we've been able to, but given as shorthanded as we are on things, I don't know if that's going to be possible. Well, although it would be nice to have the document printed as a whole so
Right,
that
and-
we could review it in that form.
Can I make a suggestion or ask a question?
Yes,
Are we in a position where we're going to assign pros and cons to people tonight? People are going to write them up. In the past, we've had the option of sending stuff to Robin, and then she can disseminate it to the rest of the committee. I'm not sure, what do we have in place now? Are we sending stuff, for example, to Melissa that she can disseminate? Or
we've been sending things to Robin, Melissa, and Laura.
All right.
well, the point is to stay away from communicating amongst ourselves, which could be problematic, open meeting law, all that stuff. If each of us sent our information to Robin and she disseminated it for our review, it kind of cleans it up a little bit. It makes it a little bit more lengthy process, but we must comply with the law, or at least try. So my question is, who is doing that for us at the moment? Is it Melissa? Or is it Robin? Or is it Laura? Or who is it?
It may be Melissa, or it could be Robin who will be assembling it. I don't know what Robin's schedule is over the next week, but if not, it will fall back to, Melissa as the one putting it all together.
Okay, so the question is, where would we send it?
Send it to all three of us, Robin, Melissa, and myself. And that way, if somebody's out, somebody can be composing everything.
Okay, does that make sense? Or not?
Yeah, I'd want to send it to Linda also, just so she knows what's going on.
Laura, I think maybe one point person, would be better, but because
But given right now that they're short, not only are we short a person in the select board office, but the other person has been on a grand jury and is in and out. So
right,
it's
Robin's in and out with the
right.
grand jury.
But it's a toss up as to who is going to be able to do it.
Right. I
So-
would say at this point, it would be Melissa, but in case Melissa's out and you're sending her stuff, we need somebody else on the email so that
Okay.
it doesn't,
All right, let's compromise. Let's just do you, Laura, and Melissa.
okay,
Let's leave Robin out of it because
okay.
she's probably not going to be involved or whatever.
Okay.
Although I think you know what?
She did say she could have possibly up to 2 weeks, starting today. But with that said, I don't know what her assignments are going to be. She may need to do things for the select board.
Okay, so forget about what I said. I just remember that email you talked about, Linda. She said she has the grand jury. Her son just had back surgery yesterday, and she asked to be carbon copied on any correspondence.
Right.
So, although I think if we send it to Laura and Melissa, then whatever they send out to the group, they can just put
Yeah.
the carbon copy onto Robin. So she knows she doesn't have to do anything with it.
Right.
She doesn't get involved.
Okay.
Well, if that's okay with you, Laura and Melissa, then let's maybe,
That's fine.
okay.
We'll work on it on our end. We'll get it organized.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thanks.
all right, and. Okay, so moving on to the annual town meeting. Our pros and cons for 1 through 5 are standard from year to year. That's just housekeeping. So we can use the ones that were used last year unless somebody has a concern about that. Okay. Number 6, the road construction borrowing authorization. There was one that we had last year that was very similar, or was actually the same thing. We could go again with that same language, or we can, somebody can rewrite something.
Let's make it easy on ourselves.
Second that.
Issuing, and it's the same reason, so, and we're in the same situation. We actually need more money for that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So that one, ladies, just so you know, is from last year's pros and cons, number 6 also. And then number 7, we have the DPW dump truck. If anyone wants to write that one up, or they had bought a truck on the FY20 budget that we could use that language, or we can write up some.
I say,
I'll write
just
that
keep the-
Who's gonna write it?
did you say that, Karen?
I said, just keep the same. Why create more work?
Well, I didn't know if it was, I don't know if it's the same truck. I probably should, but I don't know if it's the same truck.
Why don't we give that to you, Bob, to double check on, okay?
That's fine.
Okay. And Terry, you submitted the language for number 8,
Yes, ma'am.
and we'll just, if it's okay with you, we'll just have everybody or have that put onto the master list for next week.
Yep.
Okay. And number 9, the water transmission main improvements. Does anyone want to take that one?
Sheila, did I say that?
That is what happens when people miss this meeting.
Just
Okay,
kidding.
I know. Okay, I don't mind taking number 9. Okay, so we'll do that. And numbers 10, 11, 12, and 13 are all the exact same things from last year. So my suggestion would be we take the pros and cons from last year's that were article numbers 9, 10, 11, and 12, and put them on to articles 10, 11, 12, and 13 of FY22. All right. We have next then Article 14 for the Trails Grant. I sent something out, but again, I am amendable to if somebody wants to take a look at that and make any changes. Otherwise, I can submit my 14 to the document.
You're volunteering? I think that's great.
Okay, all right. Number 15, that is the housing plan for the community preservation. And I also sent in something on that, or I emailed it to everyone. We can go with that for your review, or somebody else, if they want to write it, they can write it.
Yeah, this is going for the
Master plan.
master
map.
plan. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so, okay, I'll submit that one for you guys to review. Number 16 is in regards to the old library for the stained glass windows.
Now, this is the one where Tynick bought the building, but there is a history of putting money towards property that has been purchased by private citizens.
Yes, the only thing that was mentioned at last night's meeting with the select board is that they wanted to review the sale agreement to make sure there wasn't something in there that stated that they couldn't apply for assistance from the town. And that's my summary of it. But they were gonna do that. But I think we still should have that written up just in case.
Okay. So wouldn't the cons just be the same as 14 and 15? The monies would come from the general fund?
No, because
No.
that is strictly a historical grant for that. And we only sold that building and property for $15,000. And the fact that we're gonna dump, another 27,000 or whatever it is, and change into a building that we didn't get very much money for. I mean, we could have done.
So that's kind of my question, that if the town denies this, we don't have to come up with the money, or
Correct.
do we have to?
No,
No,
Oh, okay, that's the difference.
this would be the only avenue, to my way of thinking, that the purchaser of this property could come back to the town for money through the CPC. And
mhm. Yep. Bob, do you want to take that one on?
Sure.
Make it a good pro, Bob. Make it a good pro.
Thank you, Bob. Okay, number 17 with the fire station, CPC funds.
Old fire
Or-
station.
Terry's got it. Okay. Number 18, on the alum treatment, it is the exact wording that, well, we'd have to adjust one word, but on last year's pros and cons, number 16 is where we adjusted, or I'm sorry, we approved it for the first interest payment. And this one, we could just change the wording and put the word second in there. And it's the exact same wording.
Sounds like a plan, Madam Chairman.
Okay, we're good. Number 19, same thing. We use the word 19 and 20, actually. We use the wording from last year's pros and cons. And that would have been number 17 and 18 from last year. And use that same wording. And numbers 21 and 22, I don't see where we need to do a pro or con on either of those two articles. It doesn't have to do with the finances. Does anyone see that any differently?
Nope.
Okay. Number 23, we do need to write a pro and con on there because it could be up to 20,000.
Excuse me.
And actually whoever does 23 could also do 24 because they're kind of the same in there. Those are the ones for Tannery Road, correct? Yes, yeah. All right, so I would say whoever does 23 does number 24 also.
I could take those.
Thank you, Art. Right. Okay, and number 25, the planning board consultant fees. That is our last one, I believe. Who would like to take that one?
I mean, there's no set dollar amount in there.
Oh, you're right. Oh,
And
yeah.
it's really saving money instead of having us do it.
You are correct. We do not have to do a pro and con on that.
I got one right today. Excellent. Hey.
Well done, Mr. Mish.
Ah,
All
I'll do
right, and
26.
I
I'll do
don't,
26. Can I project pictures of my granddaughter?
absolutely.
Okay.
All right, so I don't have that we need to write anything for the Articles 26 through 32. Does anybody see that any differently? Move from there. It's all the zoning stuff. Then we have the stormwater bylaw for 29. And number 30 again is stormwater. And number 31 is the stretch energy code. And number 32 has to do with civil fingerprinting. So I think that covers everything. So we have Terry doing special town meeting number 4. Bob doing the annual town meeting number 7. I'm doing number 9, annual town meeting, and number 14 and 15 there. Number 16, Bob is doing.
Yep.
Terry, you're doing 17. Art, you're doing 23 and 24. And everything else is being taken from last year's pros and cons since the wording is the same. Sound good?
Perfect.
Okay, we're good.
Bueno.
Muy bueno. Okay, so any further discussions pertaining to the pros and cons? All righty, any old business? Nice. All right, I guess also under new business is gonna be our next meeting. Shall we stick with May 4th? For our next meeting, everybody can send their copies of the pros and cons to Laura, Melissa, CC, Robin. We'll get it gathered in a single document and get that sent out. Could we do that by Friday so people have the weekend to review?
Sure.
Well, before Friday so that the ladies can even get it together if need be by Monday for Tuesday's meeting. Okay.
Yeah. The one I've already sent in for the ambulance is that, I think everybody got a copy of that, and I believe Laura got a copy, Robin, whoever was on that, whatever, I sent a copy. So is that sufficient, or do I have to resend it?
I think you're good, and we'll just double check.
Okay, very good. Excellent, Nebraska.
Okay, for the annual town meeting, is there anybody who does not intend to be there?
I'm not sure, Linda.
Okay. Well,
What time are they starting?
6 o'clock is a special town meeting. So, just to help keep things a little easy, I think if we could all be there no later than 5:45, in our seats by 5:45, because if we need to adjust any seating, it'll give us a little bit of time to do that beforehand. And that also gives our new moderator an opportunity to check off who is there and who isn't there, just to make her first time a little easier.
Okay, and this is all outside, correct?
Correct.
And we're gonna have a table or several tables up there?
I don't know the exact setup. If it's like last year, they had a very long table for finance and the same for the select board. And then the moderator was on a trailer behind
Yeah.
us, so that was elevated.
But the one for the alum, people were everywhere else, right? There was no table for anybody for the alum treatment. So that was a special, I guess, maybe, I don't know.
The one in March.
Yeah, that was a
Yeah.
special.
Tables, but at the annual town meeting, we had tables set up.
Okay, yeah, I do remember that.
Okay. All right.
I'm also gonna suggest that maybe we bring some flashlights too, just to make sure if we have to read anything, kind of thing.
You bringing the cooler, Terry?
I had a whole thought line of things, tents, coolers, yeah, but probably not.
I would suggest sunglasses and definitely 1 or 2 bottles of water. What I do remember last year is the sun was very, very hot and it radiates off of that pavement. And it does get really warm. So you may want to have a bottle or 2 of water and sunglasses with you.
Okay, I wasn't there last year. How late did it go?
Yeah.
Last year, I don't remember, it wasn't late at all, but this year we have like twice the warrants. So their hope is they're gonna have lights set up. But like Terry said, bringing a flashlight is a great idea because reading will be the only concern. You may be able to see people, you can see the hands for voting, but reading may be difficult as it gets darker.
And
Aaron,
but-
if you have a copy of Guide to the Stars and Constellations, you might want to bring that. Linda, I had a couple questions. In the past, we've actually scheduled a FinCom meeting just before the annual town meeting or the special.
Yep.
Because, in the past, we might have had a particular reason to do that. I don't know that we have that reason right now, but is it something that we should think about in terms of posting a meeting just in case there's some last minute issue?
I would
That's
do it,
not a
yeah.
bad idea. Do you think if we post a meeting for 5:30? And that way, if it's even 10, 15 minutes, gives us a little break before the special town meeting starts at 6.
Yeah,
Now that I think about this a little more, is it going to be a problem having a live meeting versus this kind of a meeting? I don't know. Maybe
Well,
not.
we're having a live meeting anyway, so it's.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, yeah, I guess the problem becomes if somebody wanted to attend our meeting, do we have enough
We're gonna
space?
challenge the fact that we shouldn't be having a meeting or breaking the laws or breaking the rules or whatever.
can somebody just check? I'm fine with it. Frankly, I'm sick of too many laws and I would do it anyway, but
Is that a motion to use common sense, Mr. Mish?
I would say it would be if somebody in the office there could check with the
me-
selectmen.
Yeah, let me check and see.
Thanks, Laura.
Thanks, yeah.
And the other thing, Linda, our next meeting on the 4th is at 5:30?
5:30. Okay. Is there anything else that we need to discuss this evening? All right. All right, so we will get all of our pros and cons written up and submitted. And then we will meet again this upcoming Tuesday. I cannot believe it, May 4th at 5:30. And that's it. If there's no other discussion, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
And can I get a second?
Nobody wants to leave, Linda. What can I say?
I'll
You know-
second.
Okay. All right. Linda, yes. Art,
Yes.
Bob,
Oh, yes.
Mish,
Yes.
Carrie,
Yes.
and Karen.
Yes.
All right, we are a 6:00. It is now 6:17. And this meeting is adjourned until next Tuesday, May 4th.
Good job.
Thank
Good
you,
night.
everyone.